Protesters and activists increased in numbers over the weekend as they gathered in Memphis, Tennessee to send a message to the United States of America's justice system that they demand change. One of the organizers of the George Floyd protest is Devante Hill, who chose the most iconic location in Memphis that represents civil rights movement to start and end the protest. At exactly 6:30 p.m., people from different cities, all belonging to different ethnic and racial backgrounds, even different ages, all made their way to the National Civil Rights Museum to begin the protest, remembering the pain that Memphians felt some 52 years ago when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in the exact location. It's another night in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, where protesters have gathered not only because of the death of George Floyd, but to declare that police brutality must stop now. And as you can see behind me, the crowds have just gathered and they are going to continue marching on. And the difference with the city of Memphis compared to other cities, Memphis is preaching and practicing a non-violent protest, but they want their voices to be heard, even all the way in Minneapolis, that one officer being charged is not enough. They marched on from the Civil Rights Museum to the I Am a Man Plaza, making their voices heard by residents that Memphis is demanding justice. A few meters away from the crowd stood Jamarcus Phillips and his son. He told me that his son Malachi is not too young to know what is going on in his own country.
I just want him to come and see and understand like what's going on, you know, how like, I'm not gonna try to point fingers, but how like you don't judge people by their race, color, or how they look.
He also commented Memphis for keeping their protests mainly non-violent.
Yes, that's how you want to do it, because you can't fight fire with fire, you know what I'm saying? You gotta show people that no matter how stupid they are, you still can be who you are, you know what I'm saying, without dropping down to their level, so yeah.
Demonstrators who were cautious of maintaining social distancing because of the coronavirus kept their distance, but still held their signs showing their support. From the I Am a Man Plaza, the crowd made their way to Beale Street, pausing at the corner of B.B. King and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, kneeling for a moment of silence, and also reflecting the minutes that went by that Officer Derek Chauvin kept his knee on George Floyd's neck, later resulting in his death. Some protesters have marched numerous times before Floyd's death, demanding change and justice, and then there were some who walked on the streets for the very first time protesting, such as Nathan Thomas.
I've never really done something like this. I've never really put myself out there to do something good.
Jojo Sagala is from Venezuela, but said this is not a black issue, but a human issue.
It's our duty as like people in this country to like, if we witness injustice or if there's injustice going on, like it's our civic responsibility to be here, like even like as a Latino person, because like everyone's being oppressed, like brown people, black people, white people, like we're all being oppressed. So
explained to me that she was personally attacked by Memphis Police Department a few nights ago while peacefully protesting.
It's been peaceful to us. Like I was there on Wednesday, like at the protest on Union, and like they pushed me down to the ground, and like you can see like on my knees, like they kind of like messed me up a little bit, and I've got like a cut on my face, and they broke my glasses, not these but another pair. They just completely like stepped on them.
The group drafted more and more voices, and with about 500 protesters, they made their way back to where it all started, the National Civil Rights Museum. Danielle from Orlando, Florida, believed that positive energy during this time is needed.
I felt like I really wanted to be a part of the energy that's happening right now and to lend my voice as an ally, because it's needed right now. And I feel like the place that they picked to do it holds like sacred energy. You know, this is a place where a lot of people have lent their voices to fight injustice. And I feel like Memphis is a city that has such history in creating peaceful protests, doing things, big things with their voices that no other city has mastered. And I really wanted to come out here and be a part of that. And
Josh had a message for onlookers who may say the night's protest is not necessary.
Then they would be part of the problem because this affects everyone.
After the streets had been cleared, there was one family that remained at the museum, the Weber family, who lost their son, Brandon Weber. he was shot 16 times by U.S. Marshals last June. The marshals said Weber posed a threat when they tried serving him with a warrant. His father, Sonny Weber, said George Floyd's death is reliving the nightmare all over again.
Devastating to see it happen again in the way that it happened.
But even though he's suffering, he still needed to show support to the city of Memphis and stand with George Floyd's family.
Because I can feel their family's pain from losing a family member to people that are supposed to protect and serve.
Protests will continue taking place in the city of Memphis, but the mayor, Jim Strickland, has issued a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Reporting for the new Tri-State Defender, I am Terrisa C.
No peace!